everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a look with a full face, mostly full face of CYO products. So I have foundation, I have powder, I have blush, I have a face palette, I have eye products. And so the only products that I wasn't able to grab ahead of time were a primer and then a powder highlighter. I do have a palette that I'll show you that I got, that I ordered online, but it has a cream highlighter, so I'll show you what that product looks like. So I have just about everything that I need. Also a brow product. I'm going to use my regular brow product, but everything else will be CYO. Let's go ahead and jump in. So I pulled you a little bit closer so you can get a better look. I did prime my face already and I used my normal primers. So I do want to list those below. I wasn't able to get a CYO primer ahead of time. But for foundation, I've tried both of these and I've actually done a video on each of them. And one is the Long Lasting Foundation by CYO and the other is the matte. Both of these are great. It depends on what you need it for, but for me, I've really been enjoying mixing the two, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm just using a Real Technique sponge to apply the face products today. I'll also link the videos below where I tested out each of these foundations on its own. They both last really well, and I actually wore them like for many hours on the wear test videos, so you can get a feel for how long wearing they are. The only other thing is that I don't have a liquid concealer, so I'm gonna do my best with the foundation. I'm gonna use just a tiny bit of my NYX concealer underneath the eye, just to conceal a little bit my dark circles right here. I tend to get really dark like in the corner, the inner corner of my eye, and then right below the eye. So I do have this palette that I purchased. I got this online from Walgreens and it's really nice. The packaging is super nice. It's like a thick plastic and it has like a really big mirror. The only thing is that I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is completely busted up, the bronzer. And then there is a cream blush and a cream highlight, but I'll kind of show you. This is the cream highlighter. I'll show you kind of how that swatches. See, it pulls very like gold, like yellow almost. So that's what the highlighter came through as. And then the blush looks okay. Very pigmented for a cream blush. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. So, you know, it's a pretty product, but I just don't typically wear cream blushes. I can try it out today though, to see how it goes. And then I want to try this bronzer, this powder, but it's really busted. So, but I'm just gonna go in with my blending sponge and I'm gonna grab some of that blush. So it's super pigmented. You just want to go in with a really light hand. Overall, I haven't experienced like any products from CYO that are poorly made, you know. They can't help if somebody ships their product from Walgreens and it's broken up in the palette. But everything else that I've tried so far has been like very pigmented and nice. So I think that's really pretty. It gives like a nice flush. And then I can show you, I guess, with the the highlight looks like, but I think it just is too golden for my skin tone. I don't know if it's coming through even on camera. So I'm gonna set the face with my powder. This is the CYO powder, and this is the fixing powder. This is really nice. I typically use like the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder, and I like that because of how finely milled it is. But honestly, this CYO powder is just as nice as like the higher end powders. And this has been my go-to powder. I travel a lot for my day job, and instead of grabbing my Kat Von D powder, I've actually been traveling with my CYO powder. And then next, I'm gonna jump in with the bronzer. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really busted up. See? So I think the color looks nice, and it's matte. I'll swatch it. So that's the color. So I'm gonna go in, this is my angled brush from Ulta. It's the angled contour brush, and I'm just gonna pick up some of the product, and I'm gonna go in on my cheeks here. It's a pretty color, I will say that. I think I'm gonna try the trick where you use like rubbing alcohol and fix the powder, because I think it's nice powder. I think it's pretty, and it gives a nice sort of glow. I don't know if you can see it, but that highlight, even though I set it with powder, is popping through right there. So that's surprising to me. So far, I think that's really nice. I'm not used to using the cream blush, so it's throwing me off a little bit. For highlighter, because all I have is that cream highlighter, I'm going to use, this is the Smashbox Spotlight palette in Pearl. So I'm gonna pop that on. Ooh, that highlight is popping. And then because I've done my brow tutorial in another video, I'm gonna hop offline and I'm gonna do my brows quick, and then I'll be back to do the eye look. Alright, so I am back, and as you can see, I filled in my brows. I'll link the video to my brow tutorial down below. I used the Makeup Revolution brow pomade. I was gonna say too, I don't think I mentioned it, this palette is called the Contour Highlight Blush Palette, and this is in Fair Medium. That's the shade that I have. And then in the matte foundation, I used shade 204, and in the long lasting foundation, I am shade 108. 108 is just a smidge dark. When I repurchase, and I will repurchase, I plan to go like one shade lighter than that. So for my eyes, I've been testing out for a while these single shadows by CYO. I have a matte, I have a shimmer, and I have a metallic eyeshadow from them. So what I plan to do first is just take this matte shadow. This is in Deep Thought, and I'm gonna use just this is a Wet n Wild fluffy brush. So I'm gonna just work that first into my crease. Just start to warm up the crease a little bit. This shadow in Deep Thought is just a smidge darker than the bronzer that's in that palette, but they look really, really similar. Okay, and then I think what I'll do is actually go onto the lid with this shade as well. So it's pretty subtle. I'll swatch it for you. In the pan, it's pretty dark, and then that's the swatch. So this is from the bronzer earlier. But it's really nice matte shadow, and it blends out really nice too. And then I have this metallic shadow. This is in Kui. I don't know, it's kind of a weird name, but it looks pretty cool in the pan. And then I'll swatch that as well. It's very pigmented and shiny. So I think I'm gonna use that and work that onto like mostly in the center of my lid. Give it a little bit of shine. I'm just using my finger to apply it. And they have a lot of shades. I just got a handful just to try them out. I do plan on getting more. I'm gonna take this same brush that I worked my crease with, and I'm not adding more product, but I'm just gonna blend out the shadow that we just added. Okay, and I'm thinking, I do have one, this is a shimmer shadow, and this is pretty dark. This is in the shade, this is Fantasy. So that's that one right here. And it's a dark brown, and it's got gold flecks. I think I might work this into the crease just a tiny bit. Over here on the outer corner, mostly. And just deepen that up just a tiny bit. Okay, and then I don't have a powder highlight, so I'm gonna highlight my brow bone just with my Spotlight palette. I'm gonna use the lightest shade. Again, I'll just use my finger. On the inner corner as well. And you don't have to use your finger. I'm using my finger today. I don't always. Sometimes I use a brush. Most times, I guess, I use a brush, but this is convenient, and I'm just doing an easy, quick look. And then I always go back in one last time with the brush in the crease. Alright, so then they do have a liquid liner. This liner is the semi-permanent eyeliner, and this is in black. I will tell you, as a disclaimer, this is extreme. When it says semi-permanent, that is true. It's really hard to get off. You need to use like a makeup remover, or like I use coconut oil, and it stays put. So if you're looking for long lasting, this is definitely the way to go. It's not gonna wash off with just water. You're gonna have to work at it a little bit, but I have a long day ahead of me, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm just gonna do a quick wing. Also, this is a brush tip. If you're into like a felt tip liner, this is a brush, so. Quick wing. I like brush tips because I feel like my wing is just that much more precise if I have a brush tip. I do have this mascara by CYO. I will tell you the truth, I did try this and I didn't feel like it did really anything for my lashes. I typically will use like the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, or I'll use the Essence Lash Princess, and those are both really good. But this one, this is the CYO Volume Mascara in black. So I will bring you just a little bit closer. So I'm gonna go in, the brush is really big. So that's one coat. I feel like it's okay, but I don't love it. I feel like the other mascaras that I have right now are just that much better that I don't think, for the price, you can get the L'Oreal Lash Paradise and it's way nicer. So like I said, it's okay. It's better than nothing, but it's also not great. We'll do a second coat. See? For me, I'd rather just do the other ones. And the Lash Princess is actually cheaper. Pretty, like a few dollars cheaper. So it's okay, but I don't love it. And then I'm gonna pop on some gloss. This is the CYO lip gloss, and it's the Take a Shine, and this is in the shade Your Best Side. And this reminds me of like the Revlon Super Lustrous. I'm gonna zoom you back out. It's not amazing on its own, it kind of like washes you out. But really pretty over a nude lip. So this is the full look with CYO products. Again, I didn't have a primer. I used my own brow product, and for powder highlight, I used the Smashbox Spotlight palette. But other than that, the foundation and the blush and the powder and the eye products, those are all CYO. So if you like this video and tutorial, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see other reviews and tutorials from other brands, and we'll see you again soon.